All right, what up? So today, the title of the video is Freeform Locks May Not Be For You. And let me preface this by saying I don't say this by any means to deter anyone from growing freeform locks or attempting to grow freeform locks. I do say it because in the attempt to grow your hair like this, you have to understand that it comes with criticism. It comes with a lot of people just not liking it. It just is what it is. And I think most people could visually see that this comes with some sort of taboo-ish kind of idea. Most people are just not going to be into it. You get what I'm saying? So I say that to say you need to have a sense of self. You need to have, if not a lot of confidence, have just enough, have a solid amount of confidence in what you do and who you are and why you carry yourself the way you do. It's not easy. It's not, for most people, it's not easy. It's not easy to walk around with your hair looking what some would consider a mess, or some would consider nappy and ratty. And there was a saying that my grandmother used to say, and my mother used to say it too, like, oh, his hair look like rats been sucking in it, you know. It's probably just an old country thing, you know what I mean, old country black thing. But yeah, like you definitely need to be confident in yourself and have a why for whatever it is you're doing, anything in life, but especially if you want to grow your hair like this, you have to have a why. It's just like working out. You have to have a why for why you getting up when you tired and don't want to work out and you sore. You have to have a why to keep pushing through. And yeah, so that's really what it is. I can give an account. I remember in 2014, I grew my first set of freeform locks. I had them for maybe, I want to say 2 years, about 2 years. I was 21 at the time, so I was relatively young, and to be honest, I was quite self-conscious anyway about it. Especially when it got to a certain point where, you know, I could look in the mirror and be like, oh, this is looking kind of crazy, kind of. So I started to get self-conscious about it anyway. In the shorter stages, well, at least in the stages where it's just looking messy, so to speak. Excuse me. So I remember I went to a family event, and I remember making my entrance to the house that, you know, everyone was at, and I'm saying hello to everybody, just, you know, my cousins and this and that, and then I made it to my aunt, who I didn't really have a relationship with. You know, it was just, you know, we weren't that close. I didn't see her that often, so, you know, there was already that tension kind of there already, you know what I mean? And anyway, so when I see her, I'm approaching her to say hello, and she's already kind of like looking at me funny. And I think the self-consciousness that I had already was kind of making me feel as if she was like staring at me, like, because of my hair, even though that may have not been what it was. But as I'm approaching her, I'm noticing she's looking at me, and then I get closer and she kind of glances at my hair and then looks at me. And the whole time this is happening, she's like, and she's saying hello to me, I can see she's fighting back laughter, like trying not to laugh in my face, basically. And I can say that I don't know for a fact that that was the situation, that she was actually laughing at me, you know, but the self-consciousness about the hair and how I was already feeling, that was just a nail in the coffin. That just sealed the deal for me. So yeah, I couldn't do it. I had a very hard time. I had to eventually I cut my hair off because of it. You know, I was thinking like, oh, girls gonna look at me. They ain't gonna be fucking with me because I'm, you know what I mean? Whatever. So yeah, it was just one thing after another thing. So I was like, man, forget it, and I cut it off. And I don't regret it. It is what it is. I was young. I didn't. I didn't really. I just thought it was cool. You know what I mean? And I still think it's cool. You know, but at that time in my life, it just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? I had to grow up a little bit. I had to gain a little bit more confidence. I had to have a understanding of who I was and why I did what I did, and you know, and those kind of things. Just maturity, really. I had to mature a bit. And once I matured, and once, you know, it was a different story. But it was very hard as a young 21-year-old dude, you know, trying to make impressions, and you know, trying to find who I am, and trying to find where I fit in, and this and that. So you know, I make this video to tell other people, younger people, that yeah, if you decide you want to grow your hair like this, you got to be sure that it. Not only are you not sure that it's something you want to do, but you have to be very aware of what comes with growing your hair this way, which is the criticism and the hate and you know, all those things. And you have to understand too that a lot of that criticism that you're going to get is going to come from, more than likely, I'm not going to say always, but in my experience, more times than not, it was from other black people. And we all understand the psychological things that go into that. But you will get criticism from other black people, and you know, they're gonna always be calling your shit nappy, and they're gonna say, oh, you look homeless, or oh, you look, you need to, well, come on, it's about time for a haircut, blah, blah, blah. You know, you just go, and even if it's not the most rude or negative of comments, eventually just the accumulation of comment after comment after comment is gonna make you feel a certain way. You're just gonna, you know, you're not gonna wanna deal with it anymore. You're gonna be like, man, fuck, like, man, can I just live my life? You know what I mean? And it's gonna take a toll on you. And that's why I go back and I say, you need to just have a little bit of confidence, have a little bit of sense of self, and understand why you're doing what you're doing. So yeah, and you know, and two, I also understand too now, like, it's a little bit different, because I see a lot of the younger dudes, like I got younger cousins and shit like that, and they, you know, the freeform lock, like the high top cut with the freeform locks is, you know, that's kind of in. So, you know, this video may be null and void, to be honest with you. But yet and still, society's still gonna look at it a certain way, you know, even though it's a little bit more acceptable in some walks of life, or in some groups, it's more acceptable among certain people. But you know, just understand that it comes with some things, and that you need to be prepared for that if this is something that you are serious about, you know, making the attempt to do. I would never try and deter anyone from doing it. I say if you feel it in you, and if you feel like it's for you, then you should try and do it, and you should make the attempt to grow your hair, and just go for it. Anyway, I don't want to ramble anymore. Appreciate everybody watching. Once again, peace.